I got us back into the dungeon, back to dungeon level 3 and then down to dungeon level 4. Absolutely nothing has changed. Nothing has changed in our equipment. Nothing has changed in our inventory. No unique mobs were harmed. We do have a free action, so that's good. As you can see, we already are slowed down. Unfortunately, that's going to be something common with the ranger earlier on, because of the large number of ammo that we carry. And ooh, a bow, +0, +0. I mean, it's gold, so maybe we can take that. The armor is cursed. It could also have a bonus. I don't really want to deal with the poison. And because we have those, broadly speaking, our goal is to get to dungeon level 30 or lower and find the potions of stat increase, and many of those potions, because all of the stats that we managed to increase on this character are actually going to do something. Strength and dexterity will allow us to carry more stuff that we do need, because this guy does carry a lot. Oh, this is a special room. That guy just takes my gold, and I do not want him to take my gold. When I do this, I cast light so that if the monsters are chasing me, I can then see how they're chasing me. I'm first gonna go here to see if maybe I can get to the level feeling to identify if it's worth my trouble. To actually try to go into this room. This main gosh, what does it do? It's not going to be better than the maul. However, the maul is really heavy, and if we can get something that's sort of along in the same, in the same region of bonk as the maul, but doesn't weigh nearly as much, we would trade it down. 3-3 at dungeon level 6 for a brand new character is absolutely worth. Ooh, hold on a minute. Is absolutely worth exploring. Okay, attack the monster. I didn't do anything, so it's not going to be a brand. Here we go. You know the story where there's one orc. There's tons of orcs. And just 5. Fine potion. I don't actually have a whatchamacallit, a lantern right now, so I can leave those on the ground. If I do find a lantern, it still comes with 7,000 turns of light. These checker rooms, wow. Okay, I can kill those. They do occasionally do really high rolls for damage, so I need to be on the lookout for that. And that blue thing that I just killed, cure critical wounds, very good. Let's draw this one potion, get that, read it, summon monster. This is actually free exp, why not? summon monster using it is not a bad idea. If you are, ooh, see, fantastic. So we'll throw these two away, and now we'll go pick up those flasks of oil that we left. Use one straight away, and the other one I can even throw it out if I want to. Satisfy hunger, throw away the food. I think that satisfy hunger cures your hunger a little bit less than using food. However, if you are, it will always bring you back to the same level of full. These are just XP. I will trade some of my ammo for the XP of these monsters. So I shoot them, some of my ammo breaks, but they pay me the XP in exchange. Identify. These are good. My identify is going to come very, very late. So what have I got here? I've got one scroll of recall, which is too early to use. My lantern's absolutely full, so I'll take the identify. Have I done that side? I've not done all that side. Level 10, still nothing here. I mean, these are both useful at some point. Disable traps mostly later on when you're risking of being moved away from a level that's got good stuff in it. Cure poison, why not? Hold monster, completely useless. Teleport self, life saving. Spear of light, also very good, because there are times where you do not have ESP yet and you need something to show you where the monsters are, so that you can target them before they come at you. So Spear of Light actually really important. And Frostbolt, well, you'll see later on how useless it is on a ranger, at least compared to a mage. Boldness, we can break them. Seeing everything else, is there anything here that could be that 3? Maybe these 2 potions? I mean, 3 is not going to be an artifact, obviously, but it could be something that's worth a bit of money. And remember, we are at this stage of the game. Money is great, because you'll be able to, with a bit of luck, find the stuff. Buy stuff from the black market that otherwise you absolutely cannot afford. Again, I'm speaking rubbish because I'm trying to play the game and also talk at the same time. You'll be able to buy things that otherwise you cannot find in the dungeon. Did I kill an invisible monster? Yes. So true seeing, I'm not throwing them out. One problem that you'll have as a ranger is that you've got that slot and that slot, and there's only 2 of them, and you will want something that makes sure that your strength doesn't get drained. So a ring of strength, you'll want something that makes you vaguely capable of casting spells. So a ring of intelligence. You'll want something that makes you a little bit faster, ideally, in order to actually kill stuff with consistency. So 2 rings of escaping. You'll want something that allows you to see invisible. So a ring of see invisible. You'll need something that allows you to dig through stone. That's a ring of digging. And all these are rings, and you only have 2 slots. So it is going to be particularly frustrating. We'll throw away 5 of these shots because you do not have, there is no way that you can have the things that you actually need in order to be a competent character earlier on. No matter what, your character just does not come with them. So. Oh. Modular spear. That's a bit of money. We can sell it. I'll throw away those shots. I have plenty of ammunition. Do as I say, not as I do. Because it's risky, but I mean, we're dungeon level 7. Nothing dramatic is going to happen. That's 3-1. Another string 0-0, another 2-3. There's nothing here. I cast it there. I know that the detection radius stretches enough that there's nothing there. It could be maybe really at an angle, but I've got time to come back if I want to. And then we're really chasing a 3. We're not chasing a 5 or a 6. So if we don't find it, it's not the end of the world. Even if we just get annoyed and don't want to look for it anymore, it's not the end of the world. One of the things that I like the best about Hangman is that it does not in any way try to force your speed. I played for a little while a game called Pixel Dungeon, but Pixel Dungeon is not only random in the same way that Hangman is, it doesn't let you fight the randomness in any meaningful way. You've got the food counter that's running down, and it runs down quite fast, and you basically have no option to buy the food. You know, it's a cheap thing, but they used it as a mechanic to force you to speed up through the descent of the dungeon. Like, you need to dive at the speed that we say you need to dive, and instead Hangman says, you want to spend your entire life on dungeon level 1? Be my guest. I don't care. Is there? And there's nothing here, is there? Nothing here. Let's see if it's that one. If it's not, who cares, man? Many players have a school of thought that say, don't bother with these earlier levels because there's nothing there. Oh, there's something unidentified. There's nothing there. I mean, yeah, what do you want? Some extra potions of speed? Sure. But that's not what you're looking for, is it? You're looking for stuff that is a lot better. Short bow of accuracy. Good. Mostly because it allows us to use lighter ammo. So I'm happy to recall on this one. I will read a scroll of magic mapping. See what that damn thing is. I want to see what that one on top is. This one. Plain shovel. Doesn't do anything. Don't care. And we'll throw away the face doors. They cost very little. Well, actually, we don't need to. We go. Slay animal. It's not as good as the maul. I really do not want to carry that maul around. And animals, you find mostly animals at the beginning. These are cursed. This is Berserker Strength. Infravision. Nothing even worth buying back. We'll go with the short bow of accuracy. We do have some magical pebbles, so those are good. But hey, oh, actually, we were just talking about you. So, Farmer Maggot, you can kill him if you want, and he is a unique. And in one instance, it even dropped for me the Word of God spellbook. So spellbook number 9, the most advanced spellbook that you can get for a priest. It's extreme circumstances. Most of the time we'll have a weapon +1 or something silly like that. That's a magical broadsword. Let's try to hit someone with it and see what it does. It's branded with cold. You know what? This is a good drop. This is a good drop, and I'm okay to keep going with it. I don't think it invalidates the run because there's nothing weird about finding something like this earlier on. This is out of depth by maybe 10 dungeon levels. Sell the sling, sell the pebbles. They just weight too much, and I will rather carry the good stuff. Sell the Wand of Confused Monsters. It's not good. It's just not really for us. Get some recalls. We have too many phase doors, man. We have the Satisfy Hunger. 9 of them is plenty. Got a couple of flasks of oil. Arrows at 21 damage. Once we do find the magical ones, even, you know, just bare bones magical ones, will increase in damage. And when we get to level 20, we'll also increase in damage. Let's see what's for sale here. Nothing that I want to buy. Ooh, terribly dangerous. Then detect monster. First thing that you should do. Nothing here. This could be a corner of a pit, but nah, the shape. So the whatever this guy is called, the soldier, should be down there, and I have another priest there. We have all the treasure early on. The stuff up in a corner, so let's go get that. 7-2, fantastic. That means that whatever is on this dungeon level isn't actually paying anything. Now, those monsters can absolutely have their own drops, which are not counted in the level feelings. And you can also say, okay, I just want to kill them for the experience points. And you can. But there is a risk to it, and I haven't got any reason to risk it. I'd rather use my concentration to actually fight the same monsters, but who are guarding something useful. And that's something that you need to consider as a player. You can only pay so much attention. You cannot, stare at a wall for 5 days. You have a limit on the amount of concentration. You're using up glucose in your brain when you do that. So if you're going to really use your brain a lot to destroy a monster pit that you're just barely able to take just for the exp with no artifact payoff, I just know that you're using up a precious resource. And a lot of experienced Angband players will tell you every now and then, take breaks. Stop playing. you may not notice the fact that you're getting tired, or the fact that you are, when something does happen, you've become complacent, you become slow to react because nothing dramatic has happened. And when then that something happens, you are not thinking straight, maybe just for a few seconds, and those are the few seconds that get you killed. Let's take these potions. Potions or neutralize poison. At 50 each, they are surprisingly good, because you do find quite a lot of them. And if you find like 8, well, that's 400 coins for a 1 slot in your inventory. Oh, I don't need these scrolls of, I just remember these scrolls of treasure, because I have the rod. Can I get teleport daughter? Are we there yet? No. Oh, bugger. Look at the XP and look at the messages. I have learned to recognize the messages very quickly. If you can't, just look at the experience points. When they change, you've killed the thing that you're shooting at. This is a 5, so there could be something potentially dangerous. 5-2, don't care anymore. Stairs, only upstairs. I'm gonna cheat, because I can cheat. Cheating is free in this game. Look, I've got up. I have not put myself at risk going through the dungeon to look for the downstairs, because it was 5 and I wasn't ready to take on a 5. So I went up the stairs, and now I'm gonna look for the level feeling before I do anything else. Ring of attacks and a wand. It's a wand of haste monsters. Fantastic. Very good. Now we go back down. Another main gush. Let's see what this does. Strength. Okay, not bad. This could be like Slay Giant, which is normally associated with strength. Generally, okay, this is Mogash. You've seen him before. He's a unique or a dungeon level 11. It's way too early to expect him to drop anything that's worth anything. So let me cast Detect Stairs to see if maybe they are right here. No. We'll go back up. That was a dart trap. I lost my saving roll, and I lost a point of dexterity. Woohoo! One of the changes that's been made to the game is that now you get, every time you level up, your stats restore. That did not used to be like that at all. And it was very difficult to get your stats back. You needed either a potion that increased those stats, which is something that, you know, starts to happen at level 35, 30, 35. Oh, you shit. Oh my god. Okay, there's a monster pit. Have I got Spear of Light? I do not have a Spear of Light. I need to do that. Have I got... I don't have Teleport. Alright, I'll take the loss of 600. What can you do? There's a Thief bit, and there's also 2 uniques. And those 2 uniques, they are going to wake up. I don't have the stealth or the teleport to be able to deal with them. I can probably kill them, but I do not want to kill them because, again, I want their artifacts. And it would have taken me forever to be on that level and chase the thieves that have stolen 600 coins. And then again, other thieves have the chance to steal more 600 coins from me. This does 20 as a base. This does more because it's branded with cold. We'll keep this, and then I don't even need to discover what that is. Now, there's another thing that's annoying in the game. It got brought in with, I think, 4.1 something, and that is that the vendor does know what bonuses your weapons have, but if you have something that's not identified and you try to sell it, you don't get all of the money. You get a certain amount of money. It's a fraction. It's a big fraction of what you would get. Let's say 60%. Okay. If you wield that weapon, maybe you discover what the bonus is, because it has, you know, an immediately visible bonus like +2 to strength or ESP. But if you wield that weapon and you do not discover all that it has, and then you try to sell it, it will sell it for a quarter of what you were about to sell it for. Because the game is like, oh no, it could be a curse. You know, it's not a curse, but it could be. And then essentially, you find something that's unidentified, you want to sell it, don't put it in your hand if you're just going to take the loss and sell it, because that way you'll sell it for more. Otherwise, keep it in your house and you'll sell it later on. What we got? We need to sell those treasure detection, because as we said, we have the rod now, and maybe buy these critical wounds, because we're not poor. Ring of Intelligence, not bad. I would rather have this Enlightenment. And I need more recall. At least one of these to keep in my house. These are the restore life levels. They replenish your experience points if they get drained. The recharge on your items is based on the standard turns. So if you're hasted, it takes a lot longer. Teleportation, okay, we'll take it out because obviously it teleports me, but it sells for 880, I think. If these 5 guys are here, these are the escort of Bull Roarer. I can't seem to be able to pronounce that word. So Bull Roarer is one of the is the unique for the hobbits. you find it very early on, I think dungeon level 7 or something. And there's a number of these uniques that when they spawn, they will always spawn with an escort. So an orc will have a whole bunch of orcs around it. The ogre one will have a whole bunch of ogres. And these guys in this formation, tied like that they are 100% the escort of Aurora. Which means that he's right here, and that means that I am leaving because I don't want to wake him up. He is so weak. He is so weak that you know, if you get a monster down in HP and they go down in the blue or the purple, then at that point they will try to run away. And he is so weak that you try to do that, you accidentally kill him. But he also moves very fast. He moves at +10 speed, so twice as fast as you. And therefore, you can't just run away from him. It's like when you meet him, you have to kill him. If you wake him up, you have to kill him. If you're a mage, you can teleport and so on, though he will chase. And you're just losing the possibility of finding him at dungeon level 20 and getting something from him. Monsters do have a native depth, which is the same exact concept as objects having a native depth, and they tend to spawn a lot more on those depths than they do later on. So at a certain point, the game isn't trying quite so hard to spawn the early uniques because the depth is not appropriate for them. However, this guy is dangerous. Mostly because he moves fast and will attack me multiple times before I have a chance to do anything else. If you're a warrior, they are extremely annoying. But if you're a warrior and you have a cold weapon, then you can just kill them. Actually, that makes me remember I have a cold weapon. I could have just killed them. Uh, 32 damage, and very few things have any kind of resistance at this depth. 32 damage is a good amount. If you're a warrior, right now, with a bit of luck, you can do 80 to 100, because they are just, the initial blow tables is super easy to go up. Super easy to go up in that table. All you need is a light weapon, 1 ring of strength, 1 ring of dexterity, and there you are, and you're now attacking like 3 times per round. Is there anything worth going there? Not really. See, the level feeling is 3-1. It's not that I wouldn't get stuff if I went there. If I go there, I'll certainly get experience points from killing these monsters. But I might be doing the same at the next dungeon level and also getting something else for it. I just want to get down here to those stairs. Ranger does not identify doors. Also, there's another example of something that you really shouldn't do. Don't do what I did. just do what I tell you to do. When you're shooting something, press the button like that, unless you already know how those monsters will respond. So if you know that you'll be able to nuke them all without them getting a chance to wake up and reply, then do it. But otherwise, don't hold your finger down, because that's a surefire way to lose. 6. Which scrolls come in bundles of 6? Door destruction. You hear me say sometimes, oh, I already know this, what this item is. I don't necessarily know 100% what that item is. They're just some objects which are information. Okay, this is a resist to something. I will fuel my thingy, take that, wear the ring of teleportation, take the staff. Now I'll go everything. I'm gonna recall, go sell the junk. See, that's the ring of teleportation. Ah. Sell all these. Sell that. Resist acid. Essentially, we identified the rune of resist acid. That's about it. Is there a bow here? There is no bow. And I'm not gonna sell any of those. What else have I got? Nothing. I've got plenty of phase. I need to drop the identify. See if there's anything decent here. With some classes, for example, you might actually buy a potion that you do not use. So if you're a priest, you may want to buy a potion of intellect so that you identify the potion of intellect, because if for some chance you're down in the dungeon and you have to drink a potion, there are cases like that that do happen, then you absolutely do not want to drink a potion of intellect. I mean, there's other potions that are worse than that, but sorry, you do lose straight up a point in any of the other stuff that, stats that you actually need, and you don't get nothing for it because intelligence is useless to you. So keep going. We're at dungeon level 15. I am interested mostly in junk and the value in money of that junk, like potion of heroism. This is good because it increases your attack value. So if you're actually trying to shoot a monster, yeah, heroism is great, but you do not really want to be that desperate that you're looking for that. You want to be in a situation where you're much more in control of what you're fighting in the dungeon, that you don't really need a potion of heroism, right? It's not that it's not a winner tactic, is that it's a poor player's tactic. It's a tactic that doesn't pay enough, and you should know better and go for other tactics that pay even more than that. Okay, when you want to pick up something and you're completely packed, just throw away some arrows and then step right over them to see if you can pick them up again. Can I do one more dungeon level? Oh, they're far. Is there a way down here? Maybe there is. Okay, these big cavern levels, when you see them, there is a secret tactic, which is that one. Forget about it. Just leave. They have almost never anything decent in them. And they are a much higher risk. Not because the monsters in it are higher. Yeah, fucking hell. So if I go down here, I'll wake up all these guys. Boror 16, maybe he's already killable. Let me pop magic mapping. But because the monsters can see you, and you can't even see them on the screen for how far they are. Monsters see you as far away as there is a direct line of sight. I mean, in theory, you do too. However, first thing is your spells and actions do have a limit. Like your... Am I next to a pit? You know what? Okay, 1 heroism, 1 speed, because we got plenty. Heals. Let's shoot off. We are gonna go anyway. So let's use up all these arrows. I almost died there. Already ran out of speed. That's not a bad way to use stuff like your cure light wounds and so on, because they're, as soon as you start to have the money to buy cure critical wounds, at that point they're kind of useless really. These guys are not great when it comes to experience points either, but you know, and now we'll just go with the sword. They do have a chance to drop something. In this case, they dropped nothing. Every monster has a chance. They dropped a basic longbow. I will keep it in my house in case that I find some potions of, some scrolls. Scrolls of enchanting, and I will use them, over time to see if I can get anything decent, because sometimes they do pop up. I'm not saying that you need to go buy them in the black market or anything like that, but it doesn't do damage comparable to this one that has +8. For example, basic arrow with this one does 21, with this guy does 7.5. So this is still by far the best. We got some XP, we got some stuff to sell. I think that's it for now. I'll probably get down to dungeon level 20, and then we can start looking for the artifact light. This part of the run is no different than any other character. Alright, cheerio.